Hey, we are live with And Seen Live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so excited about this month's show. I see folks are still coming in, so please continue to join us. And for those who don't know Tagg Magazine or And Seen, welcome if this is your first time. And everyone who is coming back, thank you for continuing to support us and watch the show. We started this monthly show a few months ago, specifically when we were trying to raise some funds for the magazine. But now it's become something pretty amazing where we get to talk to our favorite celebs. You guys get to ask some great questions. We learn things we didn't know about them. Sometimes we also do some wine tasting in it as well. And it's just a lot of fun. And during the whole show, we just raise money to help save queer women's media and support Black queer-owned businesses. So thank you, everyone who's coming in to watch. We are so excited about this evening's guest. But first and foremost, I want to make sure that I thank our sponsor of this episode of And Seen, and that's the Capital Pride Alliance. The Capital Pride Alliance is an amazing nonprofit organization dedicated to serving the needs of the LGBTQ plus community and its partners through educational events, entertainment, community outreach, and celebrations of diversity. And as we all know, Pride is usually traditionally on a larger scale. And so you can imagine, the cancellation of Pride events due to the pandemic has created difficult and unique challenges. But despite this, Capital Pride Alliance is still committed to the community and creating new opportunities and possibilities. So currently, with their Still We Vote campaign, they are calling on you to pledge that you will fulfill your civic duty by voting in support of our intersectional communities and to make your voices heard. Also, they are currently showcasing and telling stories of some amazing community members through their various platforms, such as its award-winning web series, Pride in the City. So for more information about Capital Pride Alliance and to join the movement, you can visit them at capitalpride.org, or to support future Pride events, celebrations, programming, and critical advocacy work, you can visit capitalpride.org/donate. That's capitalpride.org/donate. Capital Pride, thank you so much for continuing to support Tagg Magazine, for supporting And Seen, and supporting queer women's media. We really appreciate you, and we can't wait to work with you again. So without further ado, I know a lot of you are here for one big reason, and our special guest really needs no introduction, but we all know her as an amazing comedian, producer, actress, author, television personality, and of course, a proud mom. You know her for her role as Doris in the film A League of Her Own, and so many other films like Sleepless in Seattle, Now and Then, and Beautiful Girls, just to name a few. And of course, we cannot forget about the Emmy Award-winning The Rosie O'Donnell Show that aired on NBC for several years. And of course, her lending her voice to The View. And now she continues to give back and inspire through various projects and charities like Rosie's Theater Kids, where she helps children realize their greatness through the arts. So I am excited that she is giving us her time and support for LGBTQ women's media and queer Black-owned businesses. So without further ado, please help me welcome the one, the only, Rosie O'Donnell.
Hey, how are you, Ebony?
Hey, Rosie, how are you?
I'm really great. You have such a beautiful smile. It lights up the whole room.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I will, I'll let my mom know. She is a huge fan of yours, by the way.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I told her I'd be interviewing you. And she was like, the first thing she said is, "Oh my God, where's my Rosie O'Donnell jean jacket?" Like you were going to see it for some reason. But she has the Rosie O'Donnell Show jean jacket and she loves it. So she wanted me to tell you hi. So I'll be sure to
give her my love back. You know, somebody in the audience or fan, but whatever world, sent me a jacket for Dakota, a jacket that she had 20 years ago for her little kid that she bought,
Really?
and now Dakota wears it. So it's so funny to see the jacket survives all these years,
Oh my God, it survives. It's great. It's great. Well, again, I can't thank you and everybody. I can't thank you enough. And everyone watching, I want you to know just how amazing Rosie is. I just reached out. Rosie didn't know me probably from a can of paint. And I told her, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're trying to do. Queer women's voices matter. And we're only one of two queer women's print publications left in the country. And we want to make sure that we continue to tell our stories because sometimes no one can tell it better than us. And immediately you said yes, no hesitation. And I just want to thank you for that, for giving us your time. And so that's why we're here today. We're here to chat with you. But for those watching, we're also here to raise money to help save queer women's media. And during the show, I'm hoping you guys go to supporttaggmagazine.com where you can directly donate. We also have some really cool items on there that you can purchase, and all the money will help us continue to pay our staff, keep the print publication going, obviously our website, and all kinds of things that we have going on to make sure that your voices are heard. So please go to supporttaggmagazine.com. Our end of year goal is $30,000 and we're at 19,000 now. So I am confident that you all are going to help us get there tonight. So thank you for that. And what I'm super excited about, Rosie, I don't think I showed you that I had this picture, but I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about your art pieces you've been working on, this flower art. Like, how did you get into this?
Well, I studied Zentangle, which is a form of doodle that you see all around the flowers here. I went and took a course in it online, and I loved the way they showed you how to doodle. And so for the last 10 or 15 years, I've been doodling on sneakers and on, papers and anything that I could. And a few months ago, a good friend of mine taught me how to press flowers. She brought me a flower press, and in the summer I was pressing flowers. And when I was done, I glued them on a paper. And I was like, it feels like I need to doodle around these, And my friend was like, what? And I'm like, I think I'm just going to glue the flowers and then doodle and see what we get. So I've done about, 200 of them so far. And this is the first one that we're letting go out of my own control, right? But Lori said, do you have one of those to give away, and or however you're going to auction it or whatever you're going to do? And I said, without a doubt. So there it is, the first one. You own the first one out in the public, and I'll sign the bottom. And yeah, go ahead. I hope you like it.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So what we're doing is, and I had no idea that we would have the first one. And when I say we, I'm talking to you all. So what we're doing is anyone who donates at least $50 or more today will automatically be entered to win that lovely piece of art signed by Rosie herself. So again, you guys, the website, hopefully supporttaggmagazine.com or supporttag.com. And if you make a donation or purchase an item on the site, immediately you'll be entered to win that lovely piece of art. So thank you for that, Rosie.
My pleasure.
All right. It looks like people are already coming in. Please send your questions. We're going to try to get as many questions answered as possible, but I know I have a few for you too. So I say, let's get this party started.
Hit it.
So I have to know, what is the day in the life of quarantine, Rosie?
Well, it's monotonous and boring, just like it is for everyone else. I wake up and I think, what do I have to do today? And then I think, oh, nothing. Again, I have nothing to do, right? So it's very hard with a 7-year-old. I mean, I have a 7-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 21-year-old at home with me now. And those are different ages and different needs. Like my 17-year-old daughter, it's all about her friends and if she can go to parties. And, and with the baby, it's her not being able to go to school. She's in the 2nd grade now, not being able to see her friends. And, the days are very monotonous. They're very similar to my summers when I was a child is what it kind of reminds me of, that there's sort of a whole day with nothing to do and no way to sort of figure out what's the best thing. Like my daughter says, can we go to Chuck E. Cheese? Every day I wish Chuck E. Cheese was open, even though that's probably the worst place during a pandemic to go. But that's what she misses the most, my 7-year-old, is Chuck E. Cheese. But my days are pretty boring, They're pretty boring like everyone else. I try to read a lot of books. I try to get myself away from the news and the politics because, we've only got a little over 2 weeks, but it feels like an endless journey that's taken us to get to here.
Ooh, definitely. And we still have a little bit of time here this year, for sure. But I get it. I've been saying I want to read so much, but really what's been happening is a lot of Netflix and Hulu and TV, which is fine.
Me too. I do that too. Now there's nothing else to watch,
Yeah,
I'm always like, is there something new anywhere? Any stars even, I'll go wherever the stuff is.
That's true. I was thinking the other day, I was like, there's got to be some great content that comes out of this year. Somebody's going to make an amazing movie or show inspired by this year alone.
Just the whole masks and everything is it's trippy. You ever forget yours and you walk out in public and then you're like, oh my God, like you can't believe that's happening,
Yep, it's true. It just happened to me the other day. I ran to this building and then I noticed a guy behind me and I was like, oh my God, I don't have my mask. I'm so sorry. It's just a weird new normal, that hopefully we don't have to.
I walked into a friend's apartment lobby to drop something off and I had been in my car. So I just ran out and I was like, oh my God, I don't have a mask. And the guy had extras there, the man who worked in the place. He's like, here you go, sweetheart. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he said, it's not the people who forget, it's the ones who don't want it when I offer it to them, those are the ones that piss them off. And I don't blame them. When you have to interact with people on a daily basis, you got to show that respect to each other, for each other. And the mask now, when you see, what, you ever watch a movie on Netflix or something and everybody is not, quarantining, they're sitting next to each other, they have no masks. It feels like a world far away that we can hardly remember,
It's true. It's true. So Karen Young, hi Karen, who is watching. Apparently people are familiar with your art. She's asking, and we don't need to get into too much about this person, but she's asking, do you have some more anti-Trump art for sale?
Well, we sold all of it as we were coming into the end of the election season. Thank God, only 2.5 more weeks. My friend said to me, oh, what about all this extra Trump stuff? Because there was a time where instead of making flowers and beautiful doodles, I was just drawing his face. I was just painting over and over and over and selling them, as a wish of dream fulfillment, that no to Trump on every painting I would write, no to Trump. And so we don't have any more of those left. And I'm praying to God I don't have to make any more, because drawing his face is not something that's kind of redeeming or happy or, but I did do a lot of it, I got to say. And my therapist was like, can't you move on to something else? But I couldn't. I was so sort of obsessed with what he was doing to the nation and to people. And I couldn't get him out of my mind, Luckily now he's in the background a little bit, as I think he's on the ropes now.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you were able to sell all that art. And Karen, she does have a lot of that art on Instagram and her website. So definitely check that out. And it sounds like maybe it will be.
Yes, we're going to be selling note cards, and because the flowers are delicate and eventually after time they will fade and they could fall, little pieces of it could fall off. We have photographed them and scanned them, and we're going to make note cards that'll be available in about a month.
Awesome. All right. So make sure you all look out for that. Please follow Rosie on Instagram. She has some great pieces on there. I was checking out just a few days ago. So our next question is I'm pulling it up from Heather Watson, who says, I was so lucky to not only meet her, but to see her perform in Baltimore in the early 90s when she starred in the Broadway play Grease.
Wow.
I wanted to know what were her favorite parts of doing this.
Well, I just loved Broadway since I was a little kid. It's all I ever wanted to do. And here I am in a Broadway musical coming to New York, but we did an out of town run first that went to a
Oh,
bunch of cities, Baltimore and Boston and out west even. And it was wonderful to tour with the company. There's no better feeling in show business than a Broadway cast. Like, movies, they're quick, they're only 3 months. You don't really, it's hard to make really bonding moments because you're separate. Somebody's called in a day, you're not called in. But on a Broadway show, it's like going to camp. Everyone is there every day. You're doing it live 8 times a week. And you get to be really close with the people. And the enjoyment of doing Broadway is my version of Hollywood fulfilled, like I've done so many things in show business, and the most rewarding for me, the most energizing is to do a Broadway show. And sadly, Broadway's going to be closed till at least June of 2021. And there's some talk it might even be 2022 before we get back up on the boards there. But I'm praying to God that this COVID thing, we get it under control as soon as we have somebody in there who knows how to lead. I can't wait
absolutely.
until Joe Biden is the victor and he gets to take control of this COVID epidemic. I mean, when you think of how few people died in other countries, and then you look at our number of death, 220,000, it's absolutely unforgivable, and it makes no sense. And it was all at the failing of the president and his cohorts. So, that COVID thing, boy,
Yeah,
yeah, it's something.
it is. It definitely is. And hopefully, yeah, it's sad with Broadway. It's a lot of businesses, of course.
Oh my God. And all my friends, so many of them, they had to move out of New York. They can't pay their rent. In 8 months, they've made no money. Zero, and a lot of them have jobs as waitresses, but the restaurants closed down now. And I mean, it's going to be really bad before it gets better. I can say that for certain.
Yeah. Well, let me pull something up from Lisa Marie. And really quickly, I see Lynn is saying that PayPal, you guys are not in agreement right now, which sometimes happens. If you really want to donate and for some reason things aren't working on your end, you can always email us directly at info@taggmagazine.com. And you can just email and say, hey, I had some trouble, and we'll figure out a way for you to donate. So thanks for asking. So Lisa Marie, and I'm not even quite sure what she's talking about, so I'll learn something, says, hi, Rosie, will you be creating any more monies?
Well, you're lucky because I'm in my bedroom and I happen
Oh, perfect.
to have one right here so I can show you what a money is. Money is a do-it-yourself vinyl art toy. So
Oh, cool.
for $20, you get this doll, and it's white and it's blank, and then you can doodle on it like this. Well, how come I can't get this to work here?
It's always like that.
Yeah, I'm a professional entertainer. I've been on TV a lot and I can't figure out where to put the doll. But these dolls are $20. You get them blank. They have smaller versions, which are only $10. And I just love decorating them. I do it as often as I can. This is a COVID one. Can you see right here? It's a little COVID
Yes.
and everything. So this was one that I started just a couple days ago. And I go till all the white's covered. And they're called
I love
money
it.
dolls,
I never knew.
MUNNY. Yeah.
I'll have to definitely check that out. Maybe I'll make nice with you and your assistant, and we can get that as well.
I can get you one of those without a doubt. A done money.
Awesome.
It's yours.
Awesome. All right. So we have, let's see, a question from the Richard Wilmer show. Your show was like lightning in a bottle. Why has there not been a show like it since, even though plenty have tried?
I think we just were the right time and the right, everything came together perfectly. At the time I went on the air, we were seeing Geraldo and people get beaten up, and on Jenny Jones, someone got killed in the season before.
Yep.
And, so when I was on TV, it was like, oh my God, this is such a nice show and people are happy to be with each other. And, I was stealing it from Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas, a place where celebrities went to hang out and they knew that they were not in trouble of being exposed in any way that they didn't want to be. It was like a fun celebration of celebrity and entertainers. And that was the goal of the show. And, I think I was the right fit at the right time. And as for why, it takes a lot to do that. People have to fall in love with you. They have to, really care about what you're doing and your personality. And it was beautiful. It was 6 years of beauty. And I knew I was going to be done after 6 years because I had a lot of kids and I wanted to be around to have them, watch their softball games and go to their plays at school. My mom died when I was 10 and I didn't have that growing up. So I really wanted that. It was never something that I considered doing for a long, long time. Like a lot of people said, well, why didn't you stay on? You could have been on all this time. I was done and I had a lot of little kids, and that kind of schedule takes away from your family and your private life tremendously.
Good for you for realizing that. I think sometimes people don't know when to stop in all various types of situations.
I think you're right. I agree.
Yeah. And I don't know if many people know that are watching, but you had a magazine for a few years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did.
What is someone who runs a magazine? What is something you learned from running it? Maybe one big lesson that you learned from running a magazine?
Well, I had come right from doing my show to going to do the magazine, and the corporate kind of control that they had over the product was really shocking to me, because when you're doing a TV show and you're live, you go out there and what you say is what you say. They can't go cut, redo that. We're going to retape it. It's just live for 1 hour. So there was a freedom to the television show that was missing in the magazine. And then the magazine company sued me and we had a lawsuit, and it was a big, crazy thing. But in the end, it turned out that, the case was dismissed. There was no, winner. I didn't sue them. They sued me. But it was a great experience having a magazine. And I loved getting to realize and see how it runs and how it works. Like, I love the room where they have all the pages lined up and you can go in the room and just look around and see the entire issue. Do you have that there at your place?
Well, not these days in a pandemic in my place.
Right.
But yeah, no, I know it's it's such a cool feeling, and I know she's I call her my giggle. I learned the term from, I don't know if you know the comedian Dana Goldberg. She was on last month. And basically my gay Google. So anytime I need information, immediately she'll text in the comments or whatever. So her name's Annie. She's amazing. But we had a brainstorm for our holiday issue that's coming out next month. And it's something about creating something from here and then seeing it actually, happen in print, happen
right in your hands. Something you can hold and look at.
Exactly. There's nothing like that feeling. It just isn't. And that's why we still do it, and why I feel like it's still so important for us to have.
Now, when you were starting the magazine, did a lot of people say, "Hey, you're crazy. This is too much for me"? Yeah.
How'd you know? Yeah.
I just guessed. Doing the world for 58 years now.
People, they're like, wow, you're going to do a print publication now? And I was like, yeah, we need something. So for me, I started it because first I started kind of locally here. I'm in the DC area, the Washington, DC area. And we have great publications everywhere, media platforms, but a lot of time it's saturated with white gay men. And, as a Black lesbian, I'm like, I want to see people who look like me. I want to see the stories. So I left my nice cushy job and started an LGBTQ women's magazine in print, because I wanted people to have something proud of that they could open up on the train or get in the mail and read on the couch, in the bathtub, whatever. I just felt like it meant something. And I want somebody 40, 50 plus years from now to pick up Tagg magazine and see the people that came before them. That's a great thing. Yeah, that's why I do what I do, and I want to continue to do it. So,
and we didn't have this magazine. You know, we
What'd you
didn't
say?
have those magazines when we were kids. I mean, there was On Our Backs. Remember that
Yes,
one?
I remember On Our
Yeah,
Backs.
I got that one when I was young. I remember getting that and thinking that there were no real, women's magazines or, just lesbian owned and operated. There was Curve for a while. I remember that.
Yep. It
There were
curved
a couple
up
of them that
Franco.
sort of came and went. So let's hope that yours can stick around for a while.
That's the game plan. I actually just watched Ahead of the Curve, the documentary about Curve. So it's kind of cool to see, people who came before you and the challenges and successes that they had. But yeah, it's Tag and Go magazine. We're the only print left in the country.
Mm,
So again, with everybody's help out there, hopefully we continue to be able to do that for years to come. So thank you for
right.
that. I'm going to do one more question, and then I also want to do kind of a fun lightning round with you,
Okay.
Rosie. All right. So Kimberly says, I would love to see you do a series of children's books. Have you ever thought of doing something like that?
I really did. I thought about it with my 21-year-old son when he was a baby. He had really horrible learning disabilities, auditory processing, and so he would all the time like come over and tell me compound words, and tell me like things he was trying to figure out. And I remember I made cards for him so that he could learn. And I thought these would be funny as a kid's book. And now with my daughter who's 7, who wants nothing else to do but read. That's all.
Oh,
Read and play Minecraft. And she doesn't really know how to read yet. She's kind of close to learning to read, but it doesn't affect her Minecraft. She plays anyway. That kid's addicted to Minecraft. She's always showing me, look at my new world and my new house and my new universe. I have a different skin and a texture pack. No idea what she's talking about. She's 7 years old.
I'm just learning about Minecraft and how kids are addicted to this thing. And what's
Yes.
funny to me is I'm sure you've seen it. I'm like, this looks like a video game made back in like the 80s.
Yes.
It amazes me, but they love it. They absolutely
One
love it.
step above Space Invaders.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't get it, but then I like go back and I think, is this the way that my mom looked at like, I don't know, Super Mario Brothers or Duck Hunt? You know what I mean?
Right,
When
right.
I was growing up, I don't know. But yeah, Minecraft is apparently the thing
It's
these days.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
So I want to do like a fun lightning round, nothing serious. Just
Okay.
don't feel like you have to answer very quickly. Just some
Don't worry.
fun
I got
questions.
it.
I think it's a good way to get to know you a little bit better. So, favorite color,
Yellow.
yellow. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I miss talking,
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas without a doubt.
Yes, I'm a
Love it.
Christmas baby. Go Capricorns.
Are you? My
Yes.
son, my son is born on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he has always, loved it that it's his birthday and Christmas and hated it at the same time.
So mine is December 23rd, so it's not technically
Right
Christmas.
on it.
Tell
Yeah.
him I absolutely understand where he's coming from. I mean, people definitely will give you one gift for
Yeah.
both.
That's not fair.
It's
Completely
not.
unfair.
It's not. LA or New York,
New York.
of course.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
I would say 8 because I've never been in an accident.
Oh,
So should I go to
kudos.
9 maybe for that? Should I go to 9?
I say 9 for
All
sure.
right, I'll go to 9 for that. There you
For
go.
sure. I think I've been in maybe 3. One was my fault, the other 2 are not.
Yeah. I'm always surprised. I'm like, maybe it's this time. Every time I take the car out, I'm like, could be the day. But all these years of nothing, 40 years of driving and not crashing. So
Yeah, that's a blessing. That's what that is. Do you own any stuffed animals?
no, but my daughter owns a lot. In fact, there's one right here on my bed. This is her favorite new stuffed animal. And you press the stomach and it lights up in a galaxy on your ceiling. See? So you can have all little stars that appear on your ceiling at night. She saw this on a commercial on the internet and she made me get it. And I thought, how am I going to find this little like unknown company? But I went on Amazon and there it was. So she won't sleep without it. And so here it is right there.
Yeah, and with Amazon, no matter what people think about it, you can get pretty much anything on Amazon.
Anything.
You can
I love
search.
to
I
do
need.
Amazon when I'm watching Shark Tank.
What'd you say?
I love to be on Amazon when I'm watching Shark Tank because Shark Tank, usually those people have had their stuff appear on Amazon at some point. So
Ah,
I usually, like, if I like something that they're doing on Shark Tank, I go right to Amazon and search it.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah,
Never
you
thought
get a lot
about
of fun things on Shark Tank.
Yeah, so I just actually ordered a new mattress. And PS folks, apparently Amazon comes as early as 6 a.m. to to deliver. It came at
Oh
6 a.m.
boy,
this morning.
that's
But yeah,
crazy.
gotta love Amazon. Anyway, I'm not doing the best job with this quick fire. So dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk,
Cake or pie?
cake.
Last Halloween costume?
I was a zip up dinosaur that you could get, like, it almost looks like pajamas, but it
Oh
had
yeah.
a big, like, head of the dinosaur and you just zip it up. So it was very easy and it was very warm, which I think is essential.
Yes, it is. Favorite song you're listening to now?
I haven't really been listening to music lately. It's funny. I really haven't. My daughter does the TikTok things and she's like, watch this one. I'm like, where'd you get that song? She's like, it's on the radio. It's number one. When you're 58, I don't know. It doesn't roll the same way, the top 10 music stuff for you. But
So what about your just one? Give me one of your favorite songs of all time.
of all time, wow, I love Earth, Wind and Fire. I love that I Am, that record of theirs that was so formative for me in my growing up years. I really loved them. And, I listen a lot to rap a lot. I listen to Barbara Streisand, Broadway, Bette Midler, Barry Manilow. Those are all my B's. And then I drift on out.
Got it. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, without a doubt.
Dogs.
Yeah.
If you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?
I probably would be a dog because they're so interested in connecting to people. But maybe in real life, I think I would choose a dolphin because I lived in Miami part-time for like 25 years and we would go out on my boat and the dolphins would swim right up to the boat. And there was something so magical. It was like seeing unicorns. They just pop up out of the water. You don't know where you're going to find them. And when you do, it's just a glorious moment. You feel like God's presence, when you see a dolphin. So maybe I would pick a dolphin.
God, that's a good one. Giving or getting presents?
Definitely giving.
Giving. And last but certainly not least, if you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
Just one. I asked you
I
the
don't
question, I
know.
don't
What's
even
it
know.
all about, Mrs.? I would say, what's it all about? I don't know. I can't even imagine asking God something. That should be a really easy line to come up with something funny. Like what's the deal with the chameleons that change color or something like that. But
Right.
no, I don't know what I would. That's a hard one.
Well, then that's it for me for the lightning round. That's it. That's it. I was giving people more time to ask you more questions. And I feel like I just learned a lot about you. I absolutely love you, Rosie. I'll forgive the fact that you're a dog person and not a cat person.
No, I'm allergic, so that counts.
Oh, well, then that'll do it.
Yeah, you can't really love them when they're going to make your eyes run and your nose run.
Yeah. So speaking of Annie, she wants to know, because we all know you hosted the Kids' Choice Awards for several years, which makes you a slime expert.
Yes.
Who would you most like to slime?
Well, I got to slime Tom Cruise. That was pretty fun.
Did you?
Yes, and the Kids' Choice Awards. I did that show for many, many years and loved doing it. And Nickelodeon, I think, is a great company that provides really wonderful entertainment for kids and for families. And so I was thrilled to do it for so many years. And the slime part was fun. Nearly every year they slime me. And then at the end of the show, they just dump a bucket of slime on you. And then you have to go into the shower. Your whole clothes are sticking to your body. You're trying to get your underwear off to take a shower. It was very complicated, but it was very fun, the slime thing. And who would I like to slime? I would like to slime the current president.
I just had a feeling you were going to say that. I had a feeling.
Exactly.
Somebody wants to know Lauren wants to know, what do you like on your pizza?
Well, when the kids are home, we got to go with plain cheese because that's, they're all fighting over what to have. But I would love vegetables on there. I love mushrooms. I love, sometimes they get broccoli and little tiny, cut it up really small, onions, garlic. Like I like vegetables on there. I'm not a fan of like the sausage and stuff like that. Doesn't go to me.
Yeah. Ashley McDaniel. This is I love these random questions, you guys. Do you make your bed every morning?
I don't, but my cleaning lady has just tested positive for COVID. So now we have 14 days of making our own beds. And I was telling the kids, well, here you go. 14 days with no one helping you clean up. It's just us. Let's see what we can do. And we're all going to get tested in a couple days and make sure we're all okay. But I'm sure we're good. She has no symptoms. She doesn't feel sick at all. But it is scary. It's scary when one of your friends calls you and says, I know we just hung out, but, and she was here. She's 3 days a week. She comes here and she's here from like 9 to 4. And she's just like part of the family, in and out amongst us, eating together, so I don't know. I'm hoping we're all okay and that she's going to be okay.
Same here. And I commend anyone who makes their bed every single morning.
Right. I made mine today, though. Mine today.
There we go. Jill wants to know, do you like to cook, and what is your favorite dish to make?
I'm not a good cook at all. When I was little, my mom taught us each to make one meal before she died so that we would have, food at the house. And mine was London broil. She taught me how to marinate it in Viva Italian 7 Seas dressing and then put it in the oven and put on broil. And so she taught me how to make London broil. So I think that's one of the only things that I do really well at. Maybe tuna noodle casserole and Old El Paso taco night.
That's very specific. That sounds great.
Yeah, it comes in a kit. It's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Oh, Robert York, who is actually with Capital Pride Alliance, who's sponsoring this, says, it was an honor to meet you at the GLAAD Media Awards in New York. Will there be another Rosie Show fundraiser for our Broadway family and friends?
I would love to do another one. It's so hard now. We were sort of the first one to do that, and we got a lot of money, like $600,000 or 700, I think. And I think people are now a little bit more weary of who they're giving to because there's so much uncertainty. Everyone is afraid of what the future holds and will they have enough for themselves and their family, that I think it's a tough time for people to try to fundraise. Now, and sadly, I fear it's going to get worse, not better. Yeah. But I continue to do whatever I can to help my community and the community of oppressed people, to try to use my name and whatever talent or clout comes with my fame to the benefit of people who don't often get a shot at the microphone. So, I'll be doing more fundraisers, but I don't know where or when. But probably will be on Zoom since, we're still pandemic worthy here.
Everything's virtual these days.
Yes, it is.
Everything. Well, I definitely, I don't want to keep you too long, but if it's okay, I'd love to get a few more questions in.
Sure, no problem.
Awesome. And while we are looking through the questions, just again, a friendly reminder, you'll see at the bottom, donate at supporttagg.com. We are $10,000 away from reaching our end of the year goal, so we can continue to tell the stories of LGBTQ women. So please, if you donate, thank you if you've already donated. But if you donate $50 or more, remember you will be entered to win one of Rosie's flower art pieces signed. And the first one ever given out, which is
the first one. There it is.
That's so exciting. So let's see. Kim Hall wants to know any TV projects coming soon. I mean, I know that's a weird time with the pandemic and all.
Yes, it is. There is something coming up. I wonder if I'm allowed to say it. Um,
Do it here.
I should do it here because you know what? It's a gay show. It's the L Word. I'm going to be on the L Word next
Oh,
season.
cool.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what part, but it's a good part. It's with some of the people from the original L Word. You know, they're still in the new L Word,
Right.
and so the storyline involves some of those people we know from the first go round. So I'm very excited, and we're going to shoot it in December and then again in February. So that should be fun.
Oh, that's so cool. We had I guess our first episode, Ari Mondi. She's one of the actresses on the L Word, the new L
Yeah, one
Word.
of the new ones, right?
Yes, one of the
Yeah.
new ones, and she was fantastic. And actually, she has signed headshots in our tag shop to donate. So everybody over there is so great. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, me too. I was so excited. You know, my agent called me and she said, "We got this offer for a part on this show called The L Show." I go, "The L Word?" You know, she's not a lesbian, my agent. And she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Take it. Say yes." You know,
Definitely. Oh,
very
that's
excited about doing that.
yeah. Well, we can't wait to watch it. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here
All right.
first.
I hope I'm not in trouble, but there you go.
I hope you're not in trouble either. No, you can't be in trouble. That's
Nah.
great news. Um, Anna wants to know who would you identify as a really important straight ally throughout your career in the entertainment community? Great question, Anna.
I would say Fran Drescher.
Huh, really?
Yeah, she's been an amazing friend. My first movie that I ever did was called Car 54, Where Are You? And she played there were two couples and she played the other female lead. And it was a very bad movie. It never got released and it was kind of really crappy, but she taught me how to do everything on that movie set. I didn't know anything when they're like, "Now we're going to do your off camera lines." And I'm like, "What?" And she'd come over, "Angel, let me tell you what we're going to do." You know, and she explained every single part of it. And she's been like the big sister you always dreamed of having. I really love her. And I love her family, her sister Nadine and her parents, and they're still alive and they're 92 or something years old. And
Yeah.
I just feel like she's family to me, and she's been unbearably kind and loving throughout my whole career.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would have had no idea unless you just said it yourself.
Yeah.
So that was a great question, Anna. Thank you so much for that. Um, let's see. There was a really good question, and of course, I think I completely lost it. Someone wants to know what is the L Word show. It's a show that came out years ago.
Yeah,
basically,
very many years ago.
the
On
L Word
Showtime.
is lesbian.
Yeah.
So it was definitely groundbreaking at the time. And yeah, it was basically a lesbian show for lack of a better description. And now
Yeah,
there's
and Jennifer Beals stars in it. It's
yes.
fantastic. And it ran for about 5 or 6 seasons. And then they had The Real L Word on Showtime, which was sort of a documentary about young, hip lesbians. And now there's a new generation of the L Word where the original women from when I was watching it 20 years ago, they're still on, like Alicia Haley
Yep.
and Jennifer Beals and a whole bunch. Catherine Moaning. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say her last name, but she's a wonderful young actress, and they're all still in it, and so that's really exciting. And then they have a whole slew of younger women, and it's just it's been a favorite of mine my whole career, and to get to be on it is really, really thrilling.
Yeah. I'm so excited about this. I want to make sure I get this question because I was actually going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Leah, hello, Leah. Great question. Tips for an emerging queer woman entertainment talent. So basically, what advice would you give to someone in our community trying to break into the entertainment industry?
It's so different now than when I was starting. I mean, it's a whole different world out there. People are out and proud, and it doesn't seem to affect people's careers in the way that we were taught it would when I was a young entertainer. Like, when I got my job on the television show, Warner Brothers was giving me a lot of money to do this show. And I wanted to tell them before, like I said, before we sign this contract, I want you to know I'm a lesbian. And I don't imagine that I'll ever come out about it, because at the time I didn't think you even could. This was back pre Will and Grace, pre
Right.
Ellen coming out, pre KD, pre Melissa. It was pre everybody. And I didn't ever think there was a way you could be an out lesbian and have an acting career, because it seemed just like an impossible thing. And I remember I was on my TV show and they said there's a new sitcom coming out with a gay guy named Eric McCormick and a Lucille Ball type actress, Deborah Messing, and the guy's going to be gay and she's going to be the best friend. And I thought, that'll never work. Every time that there was anything that even hinted as gay, it was like scandalous. Like Tony
Sure.
Randall had a show in the 70s, I believe, or maybe the 80s, where he was the widower of a gay man widower, but they never said he was a gay man, but he was playing it, and the very end scene, he turned and looked at a photo of his lover on the mantle of his fireplace. And that was it. It was off the air the next week,
Yeah.
So I never thought that a show like Will and Grace was possible. And not only is it possible, but like Max Muchnick and Ryan Murphy and all these exceptionally talented gay people are making the large majority of the TV that we love.
Mhm.
It's like a different era, and I'm so happy to know that so much has changed in my lifetime. That people are 20-year-olds coming out. I was in my therapist's office when marriage equality passed, and I walked out to get to my car, and I see two high school student girls holding hands. And I
Wow.
stopped them, and I'm like, all emotional, because we've just won the right to marry, right? I'm like, can I just ask you girls something? So moving to see you, but are you like out as a couple? Are you? And like one looks at me and the other, she goes, get behind my back, Elizabeth. Get behind my back. Like she thought I was some creepy stalker person, Here I was trying to like connect to the youth lesbians, like going, isn't it great? And I scared the hell out of them. But to think like my daughter's a high school senior, there are out gay girls in high school, out gay boys. It's a whole different world.
It is. It absolutely is. So, I mean, I can't imagine. Yeah, you essentially had to be closeted for the most part to get, for you to get roles. And now,
Well, I don't know
literally
if you had to be closeted necessarily, but you had to not sort of talk about it. Like everyone knew that I was gay in Hollywood. I mean, I was always with my partner Kelly, and I was always like at the Emmys or whatever. I was always sitting next to her, so it's not like people were shocked when I told
right.
them. It was just there was this level of sort of silent, silent. I don't know how to explain it. Like you could be gay and just not be flamboyant, and you could
Mhm.
sort of get through. It wasn't an issue like it is now. And I mean, imagine thinking as kids, as gay kids now, that you have the right to marry.
Right.
You have the right to marry. Imagine, how old are you, Ebony? You're younger than me.
I'm 38.
Oh my God, you're 20 years younger than me. So imagine growing up as a kid and knowing that there are gay women in the world, and you get to see them on TV every day.
Right.
You get to watch Ellen every day out. You get to watch gay people unabashedly live their truth, and no one is, running away screaming anymore, at least in the liberal bubble that I live in, but it's true for, the world too, to think that there would be so many out entertainers and all of us working it's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah. Well, there's people, we have to ask the hard hitting questions here.
Okay, go ahead.
And that is, what kind of women do you like to date?
Well, I'm not a big dater. I really, I'm more of a serial monogamist. I meet someone and then I try to see, will this work? Will this be together? And, but I'm 58 now, and I have to tell you, it's different when you get older. You don't have the energy and the enthusiasm. You don't have the sex drive that you had at 38. when you're looking, you'd see a beautiful woman, you'd be like, oh my God, now I think, look she looks nice. It doesn't go there anymore. It's like the brain has rerouted all of the sexual signals to, why don't we just cuddle, But I don't know. I like women who are smart. I like women who are independent. I like women who are sure of themselves and are intellectually curious. I'm open, really. I don't have any specific type. I feel like I'm open to whatever comes my way.
Got it. Thank you, Laura, for that question. And just in case you were asking for yourself, there you have it.
There you have it.
There you have it. So I want to make sure in a couple of weeks, we have a very important decision coming down the road. For folks that are on the fence about voting, what would you say?
Well, I would say I don't think anyone in this room watching is on the fence about voting.
Let's hope.
Let's hope not. But listen, the country has never been in a worse place, and decency and decorum and kindness and humanity have to be replaced at the White House. They've been ignored and criminalized, and it's such a sad thing to see what has become of the presidency, to see what he's doing to Gretchen Whitmer, a woman whose life was threatened just a few weeks ago. Again, he's baiting her last night. Again, at his super spreader events, his rallies. He's Omar. He's threatening her life and getting people riled up to do crazy things like try to kidnap the governor of Michigan. So I think that there's been no time that we have been in a worse place as a nation. And we will rise together, we will accept each other, and we will have to deal with the Trump cult and their being deprogrammed, them facing the facts and the reality and the truth and not his lies every single day. I really do blame Mark Burnett, the producer of The Apprentice, because he taught him that you could take a lie and through television make it true. And he took that and he ran with it. And he's producing a reality show called The White House, and he's failing miserably. And 220,000 dead people should be enough to wake everyone up.
Agreed. I think to myself, years from down the road, where 2020 is talked about in kids' history books, what are they going to say?
Right. When a despot nearly took over the nation, where one man from a talk show, from a reality show, nearly toppled democracy. That's right. What they'll talk about. And who stood up to him and who didn't. And that will all be recorded too.
That is a really good point too. We need to make sure that we are taking note of who is enabling this and who is fighting it. It doesn't matter how you identify politically. We're better than this, period. Yeah. We really are. But thank you for that piece of advice. I think that's a great place to end. I can't thank you enough for your time. Everyone who is watching out there, again, please go to supporttagg.com. We really want to hit our goal. And I want to thank you, Rosie, so much for wanting to help us.
My pleasure. I hope you do. I hope you reach that goal. And I'm going to go make a donation myself at supporttagg.com.
Oh, you are.
I can help you.
Thank you. That means so much to me. And don't forget, anyone who votes. See, anyone who donates. Well, guess you know what? We will say that anyone who votes and donates $50 or more will get a signed piece of art from Rosie herself. So please do that today, Rosie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Capital Pride Alliance, for sponsoring this episode. We couldn't do this without you. And to everyone out there, please stay in touch with us on our Facebook channel. We do this show every single month. You can follow us on our website, taggmagazine.com. You can get a print subscription right there. And of course, learn about all the amazing people in our community. So thank you so much. And as always, if no one has told you today, remember that you are loved and seen. Have a good night.
Thank you.